Is it about your boner?
Yes.
All right, great. I would love to speak about your penis.
All right.
Let's bring it up. Ives, tell me about your penis.
It's long and scraggly and hairy and...
All right, that's way first right out of the bat. I have some regrets about the things I said at the beginning of this episode.
It's got like a yak beard.
Oh, God. Sorry, everyone. Let's do it. Let's do over.
No, but what I was going to talk about.
Can you play the game, please?
Sorry.
Thank you.
I get distracted.
By your own wiener?
I do. It's like mesmerizing.
Do you ever get out of the shower and see yourself naked in the mirror and you're like, damn. I'm having a good penis day.
Well, considering my mirror only goes to about like my belly button height,
You don't have a full length mirror?
No, not in the bathroom
Oh.
at least. Actually, nowhere in my house.
What? You got to get a full length mirror, man.
Yeah.
How are you gonna know how your penis looks?
I mean, I can look down at it.
No, it's that you're getting like a POV. You don't want that. You want the other person's perspective.
Oh, fuck.
A third camera view perspective.
Third person camera view.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Nice, good job. Sorry, what did you want to talk about? I know it wasn't specifically your wiener.
No, it wasn't. So at Coney Island, it's the first time I've been there in about
way off
25 years, and so we rode the
I don't think I've ever been there.
And the steeplechase and Soaring Eagle, and I'd only previously ridden the Cyclone, and ironically, it was during a hailstorm because it was one of those days like we just had this week where
Nice. Oh yeah, we had a tornado with hail.
I'm gonna drown.
You're gonna die.
Yeah,
That sucks.
Underestimated. But the Cyclone is fun, but a really rough ride compared to what I remember, and that's not just me. Like, Lexi was on this trip with also had the same impression.
You
of
got a great picture of all of you guys together.
Yeah.
Nick looked like he was having a gosh dang blast.
Yeah, his girlfriend was a little less enthused. She's also much shorter, and I think she felt less safe on the rides.
Oh yeah.
As a result,
it's super rickety, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about before?
We were getting bounced around like crazy. Like every turn was super sharp, and it would just throw you against the car, like the train car or the roller coaster car, whatever you call it. And
nice, good job.
The first time we went and we paired up in the cars, which was a really tight fit for two adults. The second time we decided to go solo, and it was even worse because you just get tossed around in the car. And I had my phone in my pocket, my keys in the other pocket, and they were just like jabbing into my hips.
Oh,
which was not pleasant.
Did you get like a little nut jab every now and then?
Yeah, I got a little queasy afterwards because like what happens when that occurs over and over again in quick succession or in a violent way.
I have this great video of I've been digitizing old videos, old high 8s from the days of like, the Sony Handycam days.
Yeah.
So in high school and a little bit afterward, like, you would just have them with you and record nonsense because it was fun to do.
Right.
So I have this great video footage of like our senior year in high school when my buddy Drew and I had gone on this field trip to Storm King Art Center, I think it's called. And it was the very, very early days of cell phones. So he had like, a very first gen Nokia brick in his pocket, in his cargo shorts pocket.
Ooh.
And like he's running around without a belt. So it's like jostling about as best as it can. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Storm King Art Center, but it's basically just an open, hilly field with art installations like installed around it, like on the grounds.
Okay.
It's a really cool center. Highly recommend if you're into installation art that's really, really huge. That's a great place for it.
Okay.
So he and I, like typical senior high school assholes, were like, let's take the class down this big hill and we'll just roll down the hill like we're little kids.
Yeah.
And we did that, and then we got called back by one of the administrators for the school. Like, you guys have to hurry, stop dicking around. We came here to like observe and be good art students and not be dicks.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're seniors in high school. We're gonna be dicks.
Yeah.
So I have this like high 8 video footage of him trying to run uphill with a Nokia brick in his cargo shorts pocket. Every other step it hits him right in the dick. It just swinging because he's running full speed, but you can see like bam, bam, bam. He gets up the hill and he's like, I really need a belt, and I really need a new pair of pants, and a new set of balls. Like completely out of breath.
Yeah, the steeplechase kind of winded me too, because that ride you're running basically horses, like plastic horses, the design of the roller coaster car, and so you're leaning with your stomach up against like this cushion. But that ride starts very fast and stops very quickly also.
Oh, so it's very jostly.
And I wasn't ready, and when it stopped, it like just pushed on my stomach so hard.
Did you throw up?
I didn't, but I felt really, really nauseous afterwards, so I needed a minute. And then
play the game.
It progressively got worse because the
talk and play.
The Soaring Eagle, you're just like laying down flat inside like this capsule thing, which is basically the roller coaster ride. And the only thing holding you in there is this little like bar that you stand on with your 2 feet.
And that doesn't sound safe at all.
The thing like clamshells around you, like encases you, and you're holding onto bars that are in front of you, like in a Superman pose.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, I was getting crushed in that thing.
I don't think I'd go on it.
I'm like really tall. Well, not really tall, but I'm tall enough that it was kind of uncomfortable and like squishing me. And Lexi, on the other hand, who's shorter than me, wasn't in like tight enough, so she felt like she was gonna get flung out of it.
She was too loose in there, right?
Yeah, she felt like nothing was holding her in.
She's like a little bit shorter than me, not much. So
Yeah.
I doubt I would feel safe in that thing.
Right. And she was like, the first thing she said is like, I gotta get back. She was like, I gotta get back home to my puppy, otherwise she's gonna be motherless or something like that. And I was just laughing my ass off.
Yeah, but you're not the only one.
Yeah. So, but it was fun. But after that, it was like...
I really miss roller coasters.
Yeah. I've actually been on quite a few the last few years between Disney World, Six Flags, and Coney Island. Because there was a long spell between high school and like my 30s that I didn't really go on them for a while.
You're too cool for roller coasters.
Not even so much that. I definitely developed a fear of heights at some point, because I used to climb trees all the time, no problem. But then sometime in my 20s, I would get like vertigo, and it would freak me out because I felt like I couldn't balance myself, and I couldn't control like which direction my body would kind of shift.
That's a symptom of being a pussy.
Yeah, I guess so.
You huge puss.
So anyway, that definitely made the experience a lot different than when
you did the door. Good job.
Yeah. All right. We're at the spirit tree. We're going to absorb forest lights.
Get that sap.
Bioluminescence. Swim dash.
Look at all the bioluminescence you got.
Yep.
Swim dash.
All right, so now we can do this.
Oh, cool.
Booble bobble.
Still, don't die underwater.
Fuck. Yeah, I know. It's a little hard to aim still.
Oh yeah, so did you get hail with the tornado that we had, or did it not hit this area at all?
We just got torrential downpour of rain, but that's it.
We got we had hailstones like almost the size of your hand.
Yeah.
It didn't really damage. We were really worried that we were gonna have broken windows in our cars. Thankfully, that didn't happen. But like just north of the lake, there were like tons of big trees down and branches down and power lines down and traffic lights that didn't work anymore for like a day and a half.
Did the pool like fill up with ice, like, or did it just kind of melt immediately?
It melted. It was too hot for the hail. Like as soon as the hail hit the ground, it melted like within seconds.
Gotcha.
Because it was still a very hot day.
Yeah.
But the pool definitely like filled up. We had a flash flood, and we watched a stream of water go down our block. Like thankfully it didn't really cause any real damage.
Yeah.
And the power company did an amazing job. Like,
Really?
as soon as the storm ended, there were trucks out. Like they knew it was coming and they were ready for it.
Because they typically have sucked ass in my experience.
I think with how they prepared for it this time, I think they learned their lesson from
I hope so.
the past couple storms we've had.
Because we had that tropical storm like a couple of years ago. We didn't have power for like over a week. I had to actually put in a request for reimbursement for like all the food in my fridge.
Oh, right.
Got destroyed.
I remember that it happened. You threw out everything in your fridge.
And I went to like around the corner because they still had power, and I picked up bags of ice to stuff in my freezer, and I put all the food in my freezer.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't make a fucking difference because the power was out for so long. Fuck. Oh, there we go. Okay.
That wasn't Sandy, was it? That was just...
No, this was just like a random tropical storm that we had
that they weren't ready
in the middle
for.
of August that like no one knew about. And it really hit us hard. Like, tree fell down on one end of the block on my street, and then on the other end we had the power lines. Like, the poles were sagging so much that the power lines were like on the ground. So
everything had to be replaced.
Yeah.
I remember like a year or two after we moved into the house.
Oh, right.
We had called to get our I had just upgraded our internet service.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked that because we were a new account, I asked them if they could run an optical line instead of having coax to the house.
Right.
And they were like, yeah, with your package, that's no problem at all. We'll have a technician come out and he'll run a brand new line to the house, so you won't have coaxial. You'll have an actual. We'll get you an ONT box, so you can run an optical from the street to your house. I was like,
okay,
great, thank you, because I didn't want the ONT box in our laundry room anymore, because it was in a really bad. It was behind our washer and dryer.
So it was like hard to get.
It was impossible to get to. I was like, this thing has to be moved. So like we'll run the optical line and we'll move the box and you'll be set up. You won't have to worry about it anymore. Great.
Right.
The guy came to the house and he's like, I can't do any work because your utility pole, is too corroded.
Really?
The whole pole needs to be replaced. And I was like, what are you talking about? And he like, I'll show you. I was like, all right. So the utility pole that goes to our house, the entire bottom, like you could touch it and put your finger in it.
Really?
Like, it was so, like, waterlogged. He's like, yeah, there's no way I'm climbing this.
Jesus.
This should have been replaced ages ago.
How does that even happen? Like, I feel like someone would have had an issue before then.
I guess it wasn't, like, pressure treated
or
whatever they do to utility poles, but it was just so waterlogged that you could just push into it with a bare finger with not much force.
Right.
I was just like, wow, that sucks. Am I going to lose power? He's like, I guess if there's a bad storm, like, this thing's ready to come down.
Yeah.
And he called it in, and within like 2 weeks, a cherry picker truck came by and they put a new pole in, and then he came by a week later and put in like the new line and everything.
Okay.
But like I'd never seen a utility pole that wasn't broken and on the ground before. Like you never see a utility pole that like needs to be replaced. I've never seen one. Maybe you have. I don't know what your life is.
Yeah.
Shut up, internet.
Only when they've like cracked under pressure or something, but that's pretty rare.
Ooh, what's that?
It's a life orb or cell. Increases my maximum life. All right.
It's an Ericsson cell phone.
We made pretty good progress so far.
Are we at the end of the game?
Almost. You know, the progression thing is misleading because there's a lot of optional stuff that we haven't collected, but it doesn't really impact the story progression itself.
Oh, so it's not like Evil Within where you and Jeff should have collected all the green stuff and you didn't collect it, and like me.
Hey, you had that problem too, mister. You didn't kill Spider Lady and collect her goo.
I don't know what you're talking about. All I know is that you and Jeff screwed me out of having an easier time. That's the guy with the net. Did you get his net stuff?
Not yet. I want to get the underwater breathing poops.
You're gonna breathe underwater poop?
Yes.
Fucking gross, man. Oh, so when we were at the Museum of Natural History, I was telling Wolfram that like there's a huge blue whale that they have that we can go see.
Oh, the one hanging from the ceiling?
And I told him, like, it's hanging from the ceiling. It's a taxidermied blue whale. Do you want to go check it out? And he's like, not if it's going to do a whale fall. I was like, excuse me? When whales die and they go to the bottom of the ocean, it's called a whale fall. And all the animals at the bottom of the ocean, they eat the whale fall. I'm like,
That's funny.
like, you're not wrong. That is 100% correct, and that's exactly what that's called. But
it doesn't apply here.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm really happy you're smart, but sometimes you say stupid shit,
Sometimes you
and
say
you're annoying.
smart shit in the wrong context.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the question was, do you want to go see a whale?
Yeah.
And like, he was just like, I have concerns about this whale. But we ran out of time, and we didn't get to go see it.
Okay.
We spent too much time at the mammoths and the African and Indian elephants to go see the whale. So we're gonna have to have another trip there.
Fuck, I'm
He's
not-
still really scared of like, what do you call him? He's really apprehensive about movies because he doesn't want to be scared from a movie that has scary scenes. Which I get it, you know. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
But he was really interested in the planetarium, and I was like, look,
Planetarium?
you have to understand that the planetarium is just a really big, louder, all around you movie theater. And if
Has he never been to the Vanderbilt Planetarium?
He's been to the Vanderbilt grounds
Okay.
to check out the exhibit and museum and specimens that they have there,
Mhm.
but not the planetarium part of it. Because he's scared of movies.
Gotcha.
But like, he's at that point now where like he knows to try to be brave, and like movies aren't going to hurt him.
Right.
You know.
So he's never been to an actual movie theater either?
No.
Wow.
Well, you also have to understand, he's been alive for more of COVID than
Yeah,
most people have
true.
been, so there hasn't been an opportunity to.
It's just a weird concept to me because, like, I didn't even have to think about that when I was a kid.
Can you not die again, please?
Trying.
It would be great if you didn't die again.
This motherfucker. Come on, shoot your... Just shoot the thing.
You're bad at this.
Yeah.
Would you get away from him?
Well, I have to dash through him if I want to attack him. Unless he shoots that thing.
There
But he
you
was
go.
only doing it when I was, like, right in his face, so... There we go. Alright.
We sat through Dumbo the other day,
Did you?
and
The original or the remake?
the original,
Okay.
and
Elephants on Parade.
I figured he would be a little bit scared of the elephants on parade, the drunk sequence.
Yeah.
And he was fine. He was like, those Ellies are being silly.
Yeah.
Dumbo's drunk. And I was like, yep. It's a funny movie, isn't it? And he's like, no, it's really sad because his mommy's locked up in elephant prison.
Wow.
Like, he cried during that point. I was
Did
like,
he?
all right, cool. He's got empathy.
He's not a psycho.
I mean, that's still for debate. But that movie's really short. It's only like an hour and a minute.
Yeah.
I was surprised.
Well,
'cause I
those
don't remember-
animated hand-drawn movies from back in the day had to
Right.
be short. Because, like,
Who wants to do that much work?
yeah.
Oh, get out of
God damn it. I fucking bounced
But
up.
I was
Yeah,
still
well.
surprised because I didn't remember any of Dumbo. I think I remember
Really?
seeing it in the theater once, and that was Ives.
I'm trying to collect the thing and get through there, but it's
Well-
not letting me.
Do it in a way that's not bad. You could do it, just not shitty.
See, I missed fucking completely. Get the fuck out of there. There we go.
I'm so proud of you, kinda.
I'm annoyed at myself, if I'm being honest.
I'm annoyed at you too.
Can't get through there yet.
Get some air.
I want
Too much air.
I want infinite breathing. God damn it.
Air. This is an Echo the Dolphin.
Have you played that?
Not since I was a little wee lad.
A wee lad.
Oh, where are we going? I feel like we're getting lost.
Fuck.
Oh,
No.
too far. There we go. Gosh dang, that was close.
Go up. Fucking finally.
This is a perfect opportunity to say see you next time.
Yep.
On a bit of. We'll see you soon.
Latest.
Goodbye.
I've had days.